Welcome, the Warchief of Light is live with yet another epic night of gaming, ass kicking, nerding out, and having fun. Hi, my name is Peebs, but you lovely people are more than welcome to call me Peebs. Yeah, sorry I'm a little bit late. I had a nap. For those of you who don't know me in real life, I'm the type of person who can take a 25-minute nap. And I'm the type of person who that nap will refresh me. I will feel great after a 25-minute nap. So when you need to nap, I nap. And I do well. Now, there's a little bit of newness to the stream. A little bit of newness to YouTube. Okay, so a little bit of housekeeping. If the ads are intrusive, let me know. Okay, they changed how they do ads on live stream. It's actually a lot closer to how Twitch does them. So I have no idea what it looks like on the user end. So if you find them intrusive, let me know. They're not forced ads, you can turn them off. But, I mean, hey, we're gonna do what we can here. Alright, so there's a happy medium. I'll take the happy medium every time. So, we'll come back here actually. But yes, please be straightforward, be honest. I'm a big girl, I can handle it. Plus, you're bitching about YouTube. We'll be fine. So yeah, I had a good nap. That was great. For some reason, my father is the king of waking me up during a nap. Or sleep of any kind. Like one morning I slept in because the kids had no school. I slept in an extra half hour. Sure enough, 26 minutes in, Dad calls. Hey, you're usually up. I usually am. Tonight, 3 minutes before that alarm went off, there's Dad calling again. So yeah, my dad's pretty good at that. It's to the point where it's kind of silly, but like it's at the same time it's like but it is what it is. So last night I said a sentence that I kind of regret. Thank you, Stream Elements. And not in a negative way. Like, not like... Let me clarify. Last night, I said a sentence. You know what? Every day, there seems to be something with the gaming sphere industry. And it's a lot of news to take in. Seems like every single day. Epic Games laid off 900. Well, not quite 900. 870 or something like that. Close to 900 employees today. 16% of their workforce. Now, if you remember anything about this year, Epic Games acquired the Fall Guys. Acquired a bunch of small stuff like that. And here they are, letting go of a shit ton of people. So, what happened? Well, there's always a short and long answer, right? And I want everyone to sit back and be like, alright, I'm not asking you to understand corporate business, and I'm not asking you to get it. There's a few things that we're just going to sit back and admit. Okay? Hear me out. Regardless of our opinion, businesses have a layoff time of year. There's a layoff. I'm not trying. What do you call it? There's a layoff. Season. Season's the word I'm looking for. There is a layoff season. Okay? That's a real thing. I'm sorry if that offends, but that's a real thing. So let's talk about layoffs. Okay? Let's talk about how I think this is coming to pass. And what happens now? Okay, so first off, corporations have a layoff season. It is beginning of end of Q1, beginning of Q4. Peebs, why would it be that? The answer is simple. Q1, it's because they are looking to cut back because they're not predicting profit by the end of the year, or they're predicting a medium profit, or they did not get the profit they wanted to get originally. All right? So they've already predicted it, they've seen it. That's what they're going to start cutting, is at the beginning of the year. The next time they do it is beginning of Q4 for many reasons. One, the end of Q4 is Christmas. Do you want to make a company look bad? Let people go around Christmas. Okay. Secondly, most fiscal years for most businesses is the end of October. So that if they want to present a better number or a better recovery or a higher stakeholder share, reducing headcount is the easiest way to do it, and then to rehire in the hiring periods. Okay? Now, there's a lot of laying off that happens naturally. Okay? Retirements, attrition that's not refilled. That's all ways that companies use to not lay people off to maintain their profits. If you're listening to this and you're like, Peebs, do they really need all that profit? Do shareholders really need to become bajillionaires? This is corporate, this is capitalism, how it works. You either hit your stakeholder target or you don't. If you don't, people are fucking mad. And your business not profitable and you're in shit. Okay? It's how corporations work in a capitalist society. It's not up for... I wish it was up for debate. It ain't. It's not about turning a profit. It's about turning the better profit. Turning the predicted profit. Turning higher than predicted. Going under budget. Which I've got a solid grasp of corporate America, Canada. Excuse me 1 second. The only question about corporate Canada... Oh wow, I'm red. The only question that I've never understood about corporate Canada, or corporate America... I'm gonna fix this redness. Yeah. The only thing I've never understood about corporate Canada or corporate America is what happens when you've reached the ceiling. There will be a time where every business it's not possible to reach this next ceiling. What do you do? But I digress. I understand quite a bit. So there you go. Those are the reasons most companies lay off. And those are the reasons why layoffs happen. Now, in business, it is normal to lay off a percentage of the staff when you acquire a new company. Okay? One of the things that I can remember being told when I was first entering corporate was, if the company was so successful before us, why did they sell? Money. The answer is always money. Okay? Follow the money. Money. The reality is that the acquiring company will put a percentage of their own employees in there and keep a percentage. And I mean, I'm not trying to be an asshole. I really am not. 9 times out of 10, there's going to be a portion that are let go. It's... Again... capitalism. So all that being said, this is what happens to Epic Games. There's many reasons why Epic Games layoff is foreseeable. One, the entire industry's laying off. Okay? It's an industry problem. 2, a lot of these companies lay off after large projects. Okay? That is also very typical. It is also a year of unprecedented cost of living crisis. Gaming is entertainment. I'm sorry, but when you can't afford rent, what do you think is the first to go? And if you said, well, entertainment, the answer is correct. So again, a lot of like the year situation can also be attributed to, well, people are not buying as many stuff. Sales have gone down, generally speaking. Which is also true. So again, we've got acquisitions, we've got sales going down, and I don't know if you guys remember, but Epic Games is very well known to be running at a lower cost to developers for their platform. That's one of their main sales points. And the reality is that's a fact. We've also had questionable business practices about what do you call it? Exclusivity. But you'll notice that this year they did not buy a lot of titles, so it's different. A lot of people are quick to be like, well, last year you did this, and last year ended in October fiscally. And regardless of our opinion today, that's not what affects layoffs of today, right? However, several shitty years in a row might definitely affect it. So, I said it yesterday in the Discord, and I don't mean offense when I say it. Please don't take it poorly. I don't mean it bad. It's layoff season. The Hearthstone layoffs did not surprise me. It sucks, but that's corporate. And again, once you put everything into Epic Games into perspective, hindsight also, let's be honest here, there's a lot of hindsight. Once you put that all into perspective, Epic Games is gonna have layoffs. Now, I'm gonna tell you something that isn't okay. No matter what we think about the layoffs, no matter what our opinion is, no matter if we thought it was coming, we had it figured, we had it pegged down. The part that's incredibly shocking to most people is the amount. 16%, 1 in 6 employees was let go. One in 6. I don't have to tell you that's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. Jesus Christ. One in 6. No, that says shit ton. Unacceptable amount. So anyway, to the people who lost their positions, I'm sorry. It sucks. We're in a cost of living crisis. Again, the industry is struggling. And you now have to face that industry and try to get some career. That's an uphill battle. And like it or not, hiring season is in March. I'm sorry you guys are going through this. Truly, truly, truly. It sucks. Even if you could have predicted, it doesn't make it easier. It doesn't make you pay your bills. It sucks. And I'm sorry you're going through it. Truly. I think I got a cat rubbing up against my leg. I do. Hello, Jonathan. Talking about layoffs, because Epic Games. Oof. The only thing that I'm going to say, and this is... like it sucks for the employees and all that. We've gone through it. But the last thing I'm going to say, regardless of my opinion, and regardless of like how capitalism works, again, the reality is it protects one class. It ain't the employees. Okay? The part of this that sucks the most is that 16% of staff was lost. Okay? That's a huge loss. And the CEO 100% said, hey, listen, we're running at a loss. One, why is he not laid off? Obviously, if he's operating at a loss, he's not performing. That's reality. That falls on him. Or two, and this is the anti-capitalist Peebs speaking. Where's his pay cut? You lost 1 in 6 employees. Okay. How much does CEO of Epic Games make? Anyone want to guess how much? Spoiler alert, you'll hate it. If you guessed oh, hold on. I'm gonna have to relook that number up because I don't think that's correct. Can't be. It's one of those numbers where you're like, really? Really? Can't be. Cannot be. Cannot. No. There's no way this guy's making that much money. Like, right now I got the how much this person is worth, and that's not it can't be. There's no way he's getting paid that much. No way. He'd be being paid more than Bobby Kotick. Like, no fucking way. So let me finish this. We'll look that number up again. But man, it's like I said, the idea, the audacity that this guy, no matter how much he makes, lost 16% of his employee base, and he's still employed, or didn't take a pay cut. Especially, like, and I'm gonna hear me out. Some companies lay staff off because there's no work, or work has changed, right? Like, for example, the big telecoms in Canada, as proven per the news articles, this is not insider information, let go of a lot of staff this year because media is changed. Right? Media, as a news force, radio, and stuff like that has changed over the years, and it's not making as much profit as it used to. And those departments need to be moved around. It's not because it's not because the company wasn't making money. It's because the actual market has shifted completely, and there's no need of it anymore. No, this guy is literally running the company at a loss. It's a financial problem. That's what makes it like, what the fuck to me. You had a financial problem you caused. Because again, you're the CEO. That's your responsibility. But 16% of your employees lost their job. You didn't. Or you didn't take a pay cut to save 5%. I just made a number up. See what I mean? That's why I have a problem with it. It's a financial decision, not a workforce decision. Alright. How much CEO of Epic Games? Tim Sweeney is worth, as a person, he's worth $9.6 billion. He's a billionaire. Fucking great. Hold on. According to Celebrity, no, I don't know his net worth. What is his annual salary? Epic Games CEO annual salary. So here's my problem. How much is he worth? That's not what I asked you. Net worth? No. There is your answer. There's no way. Epic Games. Details for a CEO founder at Epic Games. There's no fucking way. Lots of leftovers to take home. What? How much does Tim Sweeney make a year? That's all I want to know is annual salary. I don't think I'm going to get a straight answer. Is it NHL star? Did he play in the NHL? I don't know. Either way, he's a billionaire. So literally, regardless of what's going on, regardless of how much, he can make $3 a year. And the reality is he's got more money than anyone would ever need in their existence for him and the next 5 generations if he got nothing. Billionaire. But again, his salary wasn't discussed. Just, you know, saying. It might be the bitter person in me. Say what you want. Also, the Hearthstone team. There were some people that have been there for a long time that got let go. So, off of Blizzard. There's some people on my Twitter that have had a rough day. A few really good people in there. Not that it matters. Good people or bad people. You don't deserve to lose your job. Randomly. 3 more thousand and I get a mandragora. I don't know what the fuck that is. It's a queen. Just like me. A queen. Alright, requeue for that. What's this? 31. We're almost ready for another thing. So the Hearthstone was a lot less intensive, was much more focused. So I assume it's because of the Hearthstone product. And they're trying to improve stakeholder for that product. They either over-announced or they're trying to regain some of that. It seems like a much more typical layoff setting. Again, it doesn't make it easier. That's what sucks, right? Is that it's such a natural, normal thing, and it doesn't make it easier. Yeah, it's miserable. So people watching, be angry at capitalism. Go ahead, you can absolutely do that. Be angry. And the reality is that no job in any field is safe. None. If you're sitting there telling me, but I work at the hospital. No. No. My husband works at the hospital, and he almost lost his job 3 years ago because a premier was like, hey, we could cut that position. So, no. And I know we're in a cost of living crisis, so to sit there and tell you to be like, hey, make sure you have money for a rainy day. Make sure your CV is up to date. All of that bullshit doesn't help. But, like, very honestly, in corporate, generally speaking, you should have a backup plan at any time. What happens if I was let go today? How long would severance hold me over? What happens if I can't get a job? That's stuff you gotta have a plan for. And again, I'm fully aware that financially speaking, it's easier said than done. Yeah, double check what your vacation pays are like. Double check stuff like that. Keep your, we call it a CV in French, but your resume. Keep your resume up to date. Check it every few months. And y'all want to know like a really like stupid piece of advice? You should be applying for work actively, even if you love your job. Every 1 to 6 months, do it. Apply for a position that puts you in a place of power. Not because of like power and money and all that, but I mean the reality is that things could change very quickly for you, and that networking is important. And also, chances are you're underpaid. As much as I don't like to admit it, Gen Z, they have it all figured out. They completely understand job hopping better than I ever will. They've got the balls of steel to do it. And they'll be like, nah. The easiest way to make more money in a job is to leave your job. This still kind of fucks me up, but yeah, that's fact. But yeah, like I do have a backup plan if I ever lost my job. My resume is up to date. To be fair, I'm also actively interviewing for promotions and stuff. And I also keep my LinkedIn up to date, even though I don't use it. Do you know how many connections I have on LinkedIn? Honestly, I won't lie to you. One. I'm not showing you my LinkedIn because obviously my personal information's on that, you know. But like, one. And the one connection I have on LinkedIn is an older gentleman who, I'm trying to say this correctly. Basically, where I'm at in my work, I'm a senior in my role, and I'm looking for next steps. So they're starting to throw me a bone and train me for the next step, while I'm actively, you know, applying for next step. Actively. So again, actively applying for next step. Actively. So we'll see how it goes. But anyway, they sent me to another team and they're like, hey, there's this one project we want you to take. It's perfect learning experience. Cool. This older gentleman didn't interview me for it, but he sat me down and explained what it was. Like, we went over my experience. We went over what I know, what I don't know, what I want to learn from it and all that. He added me to LinkedIn. Again, he's my first link or whatever the fuck you call it. He got sick, like real sick. I don't know what happened to him, but he's off work indefinitely. But before he left, before he got sick, he told my boss that I was one to watch, that I was going to do great things, and like, I guess he rambled on and on. So my one follower, or whatever, on LinkedIn, super nice guy and thinks the world of me, and I might have met him 3 times. It was pretty cool. So yeah, if you're not into corporate talk, like we can get off that subject real fast. But yeah, it's a fucked up situation for those layoffs. Truly. Again, we can't go a day without gaming news. Just looking fast to Twitter to see if anything else blew up because, you know, that's a thing now. You have to click continuously check because you know something's gonna blow up. Like, what the fuck, man? These poor people. Anyway, that project that they shoved me onto because of they wanted me to learn turns out to be like 10 times the size they thought it was going to be. Everyone's in a panic and they're like, shit, well, what do we do now? And I've been putting in a shit amount of time, overtime. Like, I took that nap earlier and I would like to tell you that that's all I did. Before jumping on stream while wearing what I'm wearing or what, I actually checked to make sure some of my stuff went through for tonight. Like, that's the kind of busy and kind of fucking work's been this last few weeks. Ooh, there you are. On the cool side though, I had a long weekend this weekend. More time for Moogle tones. Because holy shit, man, we're running out of time. It's not funny. And I believe I've got enough room to upload another video this week. So we should have one more. I think it's going to be a short. I'm not quite sure. But we're working at it. So lots on the go. And next week, 6.5. I can't wait. We're also going to be back to streaming Final Fantasy 16 on Twitch. I'm going to try to keep it to Twitch. Because the honest answer is it does very poorly on YouTube. I can put it on YouTube if you'd like. It doesn't bother me. Like, I don't lose sleep over that stuff. But it definitely does do poorly. Alright, I don't think I'm doing very good this time around. I feel like I'm missing my rotation quite a bit. Poor little Peebs don't look very good in that costume. Oh dear. Alright. I don't know why this is like that. The red bubble attack I don't get it. But that's okay. I'll figure out later. Why do you change things on me? I'm kidding. They don't. We're good. Now, just so you know, I like talking about corporate, but I feel like I ramble. It's one of those, like, while it's an interesting subject to me, it's what I do for a living, right? So I tend to know a little bit about it. No, like, listen, I am a CEO. CEO Peebs, that'd be kind of fucking cool. I'd be a bad CEO though. Because the first thing that I would kill in any company is contractors. Kill them. Burn it with fire. Fuck. No. One of the ways companies get away from laying off people is contractors. One of the ways people get away from union busting and stuff, or sorry, one of the ways people union bust, contractors. Basically, they'll maintain a certain percentage of the workforce that is contractors. And these employees, we sell to them the idea to work for a major company. And we sell to them the idea that if they're just that good and they do everything and they work hard. Hello, Diogo. Oh, awesome. Me too. But we sell to contractors the idea that if you work really hard, you will be able to be one of us. When the short answer is, and I mean, I work at a company where they're actually quite direct. Like, in the internal meetings, they're quite direct with what contractors are for. Contractors are for risk. Contractors are for short term. Contractors are for probability about something falling through. That's what they're there for. They're there so that if something happens, you can drop them like it's hot. With no need to worry, no paperwork, no nothing, no HR, just contract ended. That's what they're there for. They are temporary. Can they apply for internal positions? Yes. Will they get them? Depends. We've seen contractors do it, but I mean, the reality is that's not the majority, right? The majority are there because we need a percentage of them as employees. The majority is there to pad our numbers. And again, if something happens, then I'll go. Please continue. Got to Elpis. Oh my god, that must have been so awesome. I've only looked at a couple of her plays, but I don't have a lot of time, so when I'm watching content, I'm very specific with what I watch. So streamers and stuff like that is just not what I end up choosing. Diogo. I probably would have thought. No, I didn't. Thank you for correcting me. I do enjoy being corrected because there's no reason in today's world, with all of our access to the internet and all of our access to worldly people, that we don't pronounce people's names correctly. There isn't. If you don't know, get corrected, learn it, move on. Such a diverse world. Learn. Now, yeah. So, oh my god, hold on. I've known companies that have let their entire contractor workforce go when their numbers did poorly one year. But because it was contractors, it was perfectly fine, they rehired half. And then you're like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck? Instead of just keeping it, how'd you number it? So yeah. There's a place for contractors, right? Contractors are great for students who can't work long term. Contractors are great for people that are learning the role. Contractors are great if you hire strictly from the contractor pool. Contractors are great for immigration. Not that that's a bad thing, but a lot of people want to get their foot wet into a company and get that experience and use that quickly, right? If you don't expect to stay at a company long, it's a great option. But man, it is used and abused. And that's the problem. Retired people's another good example of a contract, because then they can end it at any time. Basically put the power back into people, right? I wouldn't even be offended if all employees were considered contractors for their first year. Assuming they keep employees more than a year. You know what I mean? First year, it's not probation, but it kind of is. It gives you the option to jump around if you want to, if it doesn't fit. I digress. Don't like it. It's not for me. Oops. Dude, they're popping off today. Fuck yeah. Remember, you only have this weekend. 6.5 is Tuesday. Tuesday. Guess what we're doing next week? So in totally like not serious situational stuff, I have found myself on the weird side of TikTok. Okay? And you guys can judge away all you want. You bottom 10% out each year, yeah? Oh, exactly. Temps are another thing. Like, as long as you're straightforward with what's expected, I have no problem with temps. I have a problem when most of your workforce is temps because you don't want to pay them benefits. Right? But again, if your goal is like, oh, well, let me give you a good example of a great temp job. Okay? Or a good example of a well-used contractor role. I used to work for a call center, third party for Canada Post. Okay? I can't tell you where that is, but that's what they dealt with. It's been over 5 years, so whatever. They would hire temp contracts for 3 to 6 months. Okay? You can guess which 3 to 6 months they were looking for. So this was a 3 to 6 month contract usually between September to February. right? And this is something that I learned while I was working there, and that's the volume of packages that are sent. Okay? Hear me out. 80% are sent in 2 months of the year. Which, when you really stop thinking about it, you're like, yeah, that absolutely, that checks out. So what they would do is every year they would hire 3 to 6 month temp jobs, and most of these jobs came with a shit ton of overtime. Right? You want overtime? As much as you'll take. We'll pay it. Sub time and a half. Let's go. And it got them through their rush, right? And since they're now down to 20% capacity of their packaging delivering service, they no longer needed it. It made sense. They were upfront and honest. This is what we need you for. This is why we're needing you for it. No one's taking advantage of anybody. It's just how we do it. It was a great job for students. Like, they had a lot of part-time students that worked evenings. They had a lot of, like, people that were just trying to get to a better hiring time of year. Lost their jobs. Or you're looking to make extra money for Christmas. A lot of people pick that up as well for that. Yeah, that's the example of it used correctly. There just isn't very many examples of people using it correctly. Yep, exactly. Retail. The only thing with retail is that retail tends to not pay very well. While the overtime, oh, I love the pink. While retail, lots of overtime, the reality is it doesn't pay very well. Where this paid average. Like, you weren't going to be a millionaire off of this, but I mean, at least it was a few dollars more than minimum wage, and there was, like, you know what I mean? There was the potential there. Especially for overtime. The part they were dishonest about were the calls. This call center that I worked for was a third party. It dealt with retention loyalty for telecom. It dealt with some pretty shitty departments, and those departments suck, right? Billing. The worst department that we had was Canada Post. Now, I can talk to you about it because I wasn't an agent and I did not sign an NDA for it. Too bad. But sweet Jesus, the stories that I heard coming out of them, like it was to the next level. I had no idea. Somebody told me that was like the worst department. That some people went from retention loyalty to that just so that they could make more overtime hours. And it's like they said, like if they would have known, they would have never done it. Wow. No. I digress. I'm no longer. It's been 5 years since I've seen the inside of that. Wow. It'll be 5 years in December since I've seen the inside of that building. So, again, no sleep is lost here. I sleep good at night. I can tell you one thing, going to the office drains the shit right out of me. Man, I was some tired tonight. And on top of that, like, the project that I'm assigned is like fucking madness. I'm really tired. I felt old tonight. Just, oh no! I suppose, yeah, if you're on the EU. Or it would be very, very late for them. I don't know. Do you guys want a secret? I'll tell you a secret, okay? If you're a woman, you are a person with a feminine voice. I know this isn't a gendered situation, so hear me out. And you're American, like North American, or even South American. Play, and you want to play Overwatch? Play Overwatch on European service. Let's try it. If your internet can handle it, obviously this isn't my internet's better than yours conversation anymore. Very much a like, just hear me out and give it a go. See how that goes for you. Okay? What I have learned is, one, no matter how good you think you are, different regions play differently. Okay? So if you think you're like so ranked over here, no. I'm much lower ranked in Europe. Get mine too. Okay? And secondly, it is a quarter of the toxicity. A quarter. Is it still toxic? Yes. Don't get me wrong. They're gonna... But I felt like I wasn't as sexualized. I wasn't as, like, people weren't as mean. And, how do I put it? People were more open to a woman playing. Or a woman's voice, anyway. I don't know. Now, did they still say mean things? Yes. Yes, they did. What's cool is, one, you get to hear a bunch of different languages, which I love that. I thought that was awesome. Their accents are adorable. They are. But when they get mad... they get mad. But they'll have like this one line of like, oh, call you a name. And the name ain't that bad. And you're like, you know what? Listen. You're just gonna call me a bitch and move along? That's fine. Like, that's great. That's the best toxicity I've had in this game in a long ass time. And then usually I get away with... It's terrible. Terrible. But you start the conversation in like a ranked match. Start it. And then you could be like... And then... they're nicer to you. Because they're like, oh... it's an American woman. Anyway. Just pro tip. If you're tired of the toxicity, Europe. I've also found that they're a lot of the times they talk less in chat than the Americans do. But I would still swap back and forth because I'm going to be honest, the Europeans play differently and they are better players than I am. And that showed. Oh, listen, we don't. French people there. There's two. First of all, let's get this separated. French, Europe, Canada. Okay, boom, boom. French Canadian. You can tell how angry a Frenchman is by how long the string of swear words goes. Stub your toe, tabarnak. You stub your toe, asti tabarnak de colis. You're mad. You're fucking mad. That toe hurts. Like, that's how you know you don't piss off mom anymore, because the string got longer. Like, uh-oh, no, run, bitch. Run. So they'll go off on you. And business French from Quebec is, I don't want to say cruel, but it's very, very direct and very, very, it sounds like everyone is a CEO. They talk to you like stern, and like the tone is like, ma'am, watch your tone. There's a few I've had to tell them, like, no. I get it that your tone is borderline in Quebec. It ain't borderline here. You're gonna watch it. Yeah, we work on the same company. Calm down. Thank you. In France, they just get mad faster. It's like it's like their toe was pre-stubbed. And they're walking around with a sore tootsie. Yep, pretty much. Exactly. And like I said, they're walking around with a pre-stubbed toe. Can't speak for the Spanish communities. Can't speak for the Portuguese. Italian's the only one that I can, like, audibly, for the most part, get it. Spanish, if it's written, I can be like, okay, we're talking about a cat in a house. Or if it's spoken really slow and enunciated, I can get it most of the time. Italian, I'm a little bit better at it, because to be fair, it's closer to French than the other two. But, like, when they mad, they'll call you everything. You are dumb for existing. My favorite is the look that they give you if you're underdressed. They get so mad. In Quebec, that's less of a thing, but in Quebec, we have a problem with accents, okay? A lot of swearing. French do too, I admit that. Like, Canadian French, we swear a lot. We have, how do I put this? My mother once said that the word fuck has no value in French. It's just another word. Makes sense. That as I was growing up, to not use it so much in English, because it holds purchase in English. To be fair, like, you know, I was raised in a open swear house. But, like, the French, whew. In Quebec, keep in mind I'm Francophone, okay, my mother's French, I went to a French school, French university, I work 95% of my day is in French, and to be honest, only the last 2 weeks I've picked up a project in English. I'm now like 70% French, so I've never spoken this much English at work for the last 5 years. It's incredible to me. Kind of refreshing too, not gonna lie. Anyway, I went to Montreal for a KupoCon, which, by the way, if you're a Final Fantasy fan, like, of the franchises, KupoCon, wherever it comes close to you, go. It's worth every dime that you spent on it. Go. It's going to be one of the best con experiences you've ever had. But anyway, went to Montreal. And dude at the Tim Hortons was correcting me. Because my accent was a little off. And then he stopped and he switched in English. And Quebec and New Brunswick, my province, have a little bit of a rivalry. And basically, because our French is very dialectally different, and Quebec is considered the standard, They don't like us. They let us know, which is fine. Go ahead. I don't lose sleep over that shit. And one of the easiest ways that they can insult us, and it's meant as an insult, is to switch to English on us. And to be fair, there are some people of this province that have a thick ass accent. I work with, like, I'm from an area that has some of those thick ass accents where you're like, what? I'll post them in the Discord later. Like, it's quite a lot. Like, you'll be like, Jesus, that doesn't exist. That's not French. It's something. Anyway. Because I'm from here, I do have a small accent. But it's not too bad. It's gotten quite a bit better over the last 20 years that I've worked with Quebec. But man, again, the biggest insult they can give you is the, oh, you want English? I comprends pas, là. And you're like, femme. You kind of lose your mind a little bit there. They do that. And they do that a lot. Yeah, in Montreal, they did it to me a couple times. And the other side is that they'll be like, oh, your accent, that's Acadian, isn't it? And I'm like, yeah. It's so cute. And you're like, we are in a business meeting. No, it's not the time. We used to have this woman before she retired at work that she would haul me up just to hear my accent. And that's so cute. And I'm like, come on, lady. One, I don't have it as thick as that one. And two, why? No. Don't do this to me. But yeah, it's something. In France, like, we know what they tend to act like. It's very close to Quebec. It's just less extreme. Like, everything's at a 10. Always the broken English. Yep. Well, to be fair, I am not a very good voice actor / imitator. There's two voices that I can nail, and that's the Quebec accent. I've got that down pat. I won't tell you how I learned that. It's not very nice. And two, this one girl, she's from up north, New Brunswick, so she had a thick French accent. And her and her husband used to work side by side, where we used to work. And she was one of those women that was extremely overbearing on their husband. Like, told him what to eat, told him how to dress. Like, overbearing. I got really good at imitating her. To a point where my husband was like, oh my god, don't. And I'm like, and she'd start screaming at her husband, like, from across the room at work, and you're like, oh, here he goes. So there's a little bit of bad behavior in that one as well. Of course there is. Of course there is. Those are the only two things I can imitate. And the guy knows the word yes dear. It's funny, he had like a version of yes dear. It was yes first name, no problem first name. And then you could audibly hear the eye roll. You know what I mean? And you could hear it, you're like, oh man. Anyway, they're still together. Big ol' wishing. You know what's funny? And this is true. While I went to a French school, French university, and my classes were in French, home was in English. Like, my mother spoke English to us. My mother is like I am. And I would argue even better at some point. She's like me in the sense that we don't have a whole lot of an accent when we speak English. And I can't, like, as a kid, I guess she used to read to us and shit in French. But for the life of me, I can't remember it. So when, like, high school hit, and I heard her at a gas station, like, yelling at somebody or something, God knows, I don't remember the situation. And I heard her go off in French, and I'm like... And she looked at me, she's like, how do you think you got into a French school? It wasn't because your dad. My dad don't speak a word. My dad speaks 2 sentences. That's it. Barely understands it. Yeah, I didn't know French. And now I speak to her all the time in French, English, whatever the fuck she's speaking at the time. Like my grandfather, he speaks maybe, like he knows a little bit more than to ask for the bathroom in English. My grandfather's 80, okay? He, like I said, he can ask for the washroom, he can get the things he needs. If he's selling something, he can sell it. But he can't, like, hold a true conversation. If you're speaking in English, you're gonna get the head nod eventually. He lost you a long time ago. He's not paying attention anymore. He has no idea what the fuck you're saying. So my grandfather is pretty French. My grandmother could speak English pretty good. She had a thick French accent, but she could speak pretty good English. French through swearing, but to be fair, I mean... I've always said, there's 2 ways to tell what languages people speak, and that's what happens when they stub their toe or behind the wheel of a car. Turns out I'm pretty bilingual. And when they're counting. When nobody's watching, and you need to count something, what are you counting? How are you counting? Is it 1, 2, 3? Is it earned or what? Like, how is it being added in your mind? And usually I'm a counter in context, right? If the conversation's in French, or like, you know, I'm reading a French email, I'm like, okay, how many things do I gotta do? Okay, it says, you know what I mean? I'm there, but yeah, that's usually the ways you can tell. More Moogle. More tomes. Ooh, we're almost ready to get another item. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Party on. Excellent. If you just say a mean word in Portuguese, that's funny. I'm grinding for everything. No, there's a few things that I'm not. I don't know. I'll have to go look at it. The one where you're shivering? Fuck you, I'm not getting that. I'm Canadian, I do that enough. My character don't need to shiver. She's unshiverful. No. I think I had settled on the sweat one, because I like the idea of the silliness of that. And then there's a few more that I had looked at. Shivering. Fuck that. I got the Parasol. I got the Warrior of Light card. So those are the two at the 100 I wanted. I looked at the side ponytail and I'm not a fan. Say what you want, I'm just not a fan. Actually, hold on. Withdraw. Bear with me. I'm gonna be right back. Like usual, it's the washroom. Sorry. So I'm gonna put that there and I'll be right back. I'm back. Just putting my stuff back in my ears and swear to God, bladder of a 3-year-old. It's the worst. Like I can't. I just So the emotes are the only thing that I'm like I want them but I don't. Cause I know that I can use them for videos and stuff. And I'm like, that would be the better option, but like, oh no. But now that I'm only at the 50 mark, so basically I get the most expensive thing first, and then I move down. And go from there. That's just how she goes. Like, nothing special, just, you know, next thing. My husband hates this wig. He hates it. It's like, it looks like a wig. He hates it. He has told me that he would prefer me using my natural hair for streaming. I'm like, it's brown, it's graying, and it's still recovering, but it looks better than it did. Much better than it did. I have started debating it, but I'm still not, like, I like the red a lot. That's my problem. see, we're gonna get one there. What's this? Oh, look how I got all of these. Fuck yeah. Here, you want to fire? Go. I know, that's the other thing. Well, I've always had the red hair for the channel, right? Like, I've had red hair for years. The only reason why I stopped is because my hair was not healthy anymore. And there was a big issue with it. And now my hair is recovering. It's doing really good. Like, the regrowth is about 2.5 inches long. If I straighten it, you can tell there's a little wave to my hair. You're like, somebody who knows hair like professionally would be able to look at it and go, oh, there you go. It's getting harder and harder to tell, which is great for me. That's what I wanted, right? But like, that's where I'm at, is that it's still there, it's still not great, it's brown, it's fine. And it's like 30% gray. So the gray doesn't bother me so much. It's more of like the online presence of gray here, if that makes any sense. Like in my professional life, I prefer the gray hair. Makes me look older. Which sounds dumb when you first hear it, but like, I am in an industry where most people are in their 50s and up. Me looking a little bit older in my hair don't hurt me, it helps me. Right? Me showing maturity don't hurt me, it helps me. Like, put it this way. In my initial, that's not a word, sweetheart. In my initial interview for the job that I have today, been there 5 years, I was 13, okay, 30. And when I walked into the office, I immediately realized not very many people else were 30. So in the interview, I was very specific, and I talked about my teenage kids. Right? When they say, what do you do? What, outside of work, what do you do? Well, I have teenage kids. So while it's much easier than it was when they were younger, I got teenagers, and usually, you know, you get a quick laugh, a little bit of personable interaction, you know? But I did that on purpose so people would think that I'm older than I am. And also I'm aware that I'm a young mom. But again, done specific, like absolutely. And where I'm interviewing for like higher roles, I don't mind having gray hair. Again, it subtly says maybe not 35. People forget, and it's terrible, but it's factual. People forget that your looks play an impact on what positions you get, right? Like if you dress poorly for work every day, At a corporate office. Won't fly for the most part. You kind of gotta find that middle. Like, you can't be the best dressed, but you can't be the person who's poorly dressed either. It's weird. Social interaction is weird. Oh, I like your glam. You get it. So I'm not too bad with the gray, but like online, I worry about it. The other thing that again, my husband prefers me with the other hair. He also likes my Dulia Chai wig. He's like, that's a much better wig. I'm like, it's much cheaper. But he likes it. I had bright purple hair. Well, I have to say, if I had my red hair like I did when I was first hired, pre-pandemic we were 2 of us with colored hair. That was very obviously not natural. And the woman who made her hair like a skunk. She's not a very nice person to begin with, but like, I've never understood the skunk trend. I will never understand the skunk trend, but you do you. So there was a blue-haired girl, there was me, and then there was this skunk-haired girl. The skunk-haired girl eventually, like after the pandemic, went for like a brown, a light brown instead of bright blonde streaks and black hair. And then the blue-haired girl now works completely remote because she got lucky. She's one of the like 2 teams that got full remote. Bitch. Oh, she's super nice. I liked her very much. Okay. That's fine. I don't want that. Oh, that's the high 5. Yes. No, we need that. Next, godliness. Oh, which one? There's one of them I wanted and one I didn't. See, these are all 50. Like, there's a lot of 50s. So there's like some room here. So there. Next is uncouth. It's a high 5. Where are you? There you are. So, sweating. And next, there's godliness. Let me see what that one looks like. Oh, no, that's the one I didn't want. Fuck that. That's the one. Nope, don't want that one. Sweeping? No, we're good. I don't need that emote. So I want the red hair, but I'm also extremely conscious that the office that I'm currently working at, I'd be the only one with it. And where I'm actively looking for promotion, the reality is based on society is I probably shouldn't. It sucks, but that's reality. It's like I told my kids, and I explained society's expectations with work. I told them if I ever lost my job, if I lost my job tomorrow, when I had red hair, I would dye my hair brown that night. They're like, what? Because I need to start interviewing, and my I may meet 100 people that love it. If the guy interviewing me doesn't, that's it. Can't take that chance. And it's like I explained to them. To me, paying the bills is more important. Same as tattoos. I say that like I got like 1,000 to count. I got 4. One on each arm and one on my leg, and then it got extended into much larger on my leg. All of those tattoos are covered. And will be covered. And when I get more tattoos, I'm paying off my braces and then getting more tattoos. When I get more tattoos, the reality is that it will be above the I feel real fucking stupid right now. The elbow, above the elbow, because I like a 3/4 sleeve. So if it, you know, and when you wear a jacket and all that fun stuff. Oh, looks like it looks like a new tank, and I don't want to fuck with that. Not often that I take it, huh? Because I'm lazy. I kind of just want to sit there for the ride. I know that's terrible, and I deserve all the bad stuff. Actually, all the tattoos are covered, even the small ones. Piercings, I only have my ears pierced, so it's not a big deal. And I have them in the conventional way. But I don't wear earrings, generally speaking. Like, it's not, like, I have some, I just don't wear them. Basically, I have one of the sensitive ears that, like, if I put anything other than fucking gold in there, they'll crust up and stuff, and you're like, really? Really? And they're painful? They're just enough to be an ass. Hit me, baby, when you can. Yeah, my tattoos are covered. And, 3 of 4 of my tattoos are gaming. I had to figure out what that is. I have never seen that. And not because I'm not informed on slang and stuff, it's just that every time I see it written out like that, it's usually a fab, right? It's either female actor. Exactly. Actually, I've never seen the male version of it. Neat. Definitely. Oh, well, I get that. As a teenager, I used to like the big hoops. But then again, to be fair, that's what was popular back in the day. Y'all can judge me for that, but listen, I don't own the 2000s. I was just bad behavioring like everybody else. And I used to love getting earrings at Claire's and stuff. And I would get like the package, like you get like 3 packages for $10 or something like that. Probably like $50 now, God love me. And I have a bunch of earrings. I like wearing them. It's just a day, and then I can feel like, you know, crusts building up. I've never Googled it for what it actually is. But I found with gold earrings, I never had that issue. So it could be something, it could be nothing, it could be my imagination. But I do like earrings. Now that I'm wearing a lot less headphones, I should go look and see what I got left. I haven't won them in years. Like if we had a Spencer's around when I was a kid, I honestly believe that I would have had like gauges and stuff like that, but I never did. I wasn't that cool. I bought the shit from players. Whatever, like I like the cool designs and stuff, but like, that's kind of the end. While I don't like playing Dark Knight most of the time, it's alright. To me, it's just an alright class. Having Frey come out like that, I love that. I think that was a great addition. Just for the cool factor, you know? You get the face. There we go. Just for the cool factor. That's all. I'm happy with that. Terrible, but like, yes. Let me check my currency. Almost! Look! Almost. We're gonna get some. I'll be able to upgrade my weapon for my white mage. Hey now. Alright. No, you do it. No, it's the same guy. Shit, I'm gonna have to do it. No, I don't want to be lazy. No, I gotta work. I'm kidding, I'm not actually mad. So yeah, it's long weekend. While it's exciting, the reason for the long weekend kind of sucks. By kind of, it does. It's Reconciliation Day on Saturday. Which, if you see me out and about, I will be wearing orange. That's the tradition. And it's not that it's a huge tradition, it's not. This has only existed for, this is the 3rd year of it. And basically after Canada had started uncovering some of the truths behind residential schools, they found it necessary to have a day of reconciliation where Canadians take the time and re-educate themselves, first of all, and secondly, come to terms with reconciliation. Now, most people, which is terrible, like it as a day off, which it's fun that it is, and I'm glad that it is, but the reality is that it's something that we better take time. It's kind of like World War II. You need to understand what happened, understand the role that you and your ancestors played in it, and understand why it must never, ever, ever fail. And then correct some of the stuff that's still lingering. There we go. We're doing pretty good though. So yeah, there's that. And then the weekend after, because I get two long weekends in a row, I got Thanksgiving Day. Turkey Day. Which I actually bought a turkey for this year. I'm pretty excited about that. And for those Americans in the chat, if you're like, Peebs, that's a big holiday. It's not. It's not. Thanksgiving is a very, very minor holiday in the Canadian. People have it off, but it's a day off to eat turkey. It's not meant to be a large family event. It's meant to be a day off to eat turkey. And they give thanks for the harvest. But again, the reality of it is not nearly as important as it is in the US, where it's like a big event. The holiday season tends to be more of that. At least farming this one is actually kind of fun, but it also builds towards your relic, which I thought was genius, honestly. Now, next week, how it's going to work. Like always, the patch is going to drop on Tuesday. I will be playing it on Thursday. So that means my Wednesday stream, expect Final Fantasy 16 or anything else but, okay? It's done on purpose. Oh, well, that's a pretty thing. Leave? Okay, let's go see. Let's go see, go see, go see. We're at 8. Love that. What's our currency at? See, not too far. A little while to go, but I mean, we also ran a lot of these. And I didn't know this, but I'm working towards the Dark Knight mount. See? No. See? Almost there. Still need to do that too. But they don't like correlate. Hold on, I'm not done looking. How come you get 2 of them? Oh, it's because you don't get the other ones. Okay, I get it. I'm about to get mad. I'm not mad. But I also ran a lot of these dungeons farming with the Dark Knight. I've done more dungeons with the Dark Knight than I have done with but it didn't count to the other things. Alright, there we go. Let's recover. Alright. On the bright side, if you're a person who is worried about tanking, the Dark Knight is squishy. Okay? That's the fact of the matter. It is what it is. They squish him enough. what's cool about the Dark Knight is that it's a very easy rotation that doesn't require too much thinking. I think just bounce between it. So if you're not like 100% on it and you're looking for simple, it's relatively simple. I find the Paladin more complicated, but like not in a bad way. I enjoy Paladin is my second favorite class so far at this game. Like I like Dragoon too. It is definitely fun. I also like, and I do like the Black Mage. I need more practice on it. I haven't played it in a long time, and that's whose fault? Mine. But generally speaking, I like the Dragoon. I like the White Mage is obviously my favorite of the bunch. Right there, let's see. Right in the center. We definitely do squish as the Dark Knight. That's the only thing. But other than that, it's a simple rotation. It's not too bad. I was told to play Warrior because the story was a 10 out of 10. I believe it. And I want that for me. The Dark Knight story was very good. Very classic JRPG. I know they don't like that term. But it felt like that. Speaking of RPGs, I have Sea of Stars. Anyone's interested? And I was invited to a beta, which launches tomorrow. So I mean, it's not like it was a big beta. But I got the free first bit to something that reminds me a lot of Zelda, like SNES Zelda, a little indie game. I thought that was pretty neat. We may play it on stream, or I may stream a little extra just to show it. Because they were nice enough to send that to me. But Sea of Stars is definitely on my like long list of games I want to play. Plus like the plethora of Final Fantasy games. Like I'm sorry, there's a plethora. And I will be playing Final Fantasy Rebirth at launch. So that's exciting. Down now. There. I don't know who's got the prettier. Here, we love a gothic DPS. Awesome. Alright, I know I check every time, but like, I'm checking. Okay, go again. One more. I'm not gonna lie to you, this is my weekend. tomorrow probably with a glass of wine. Because of course, why not? Alright. I should head back and go sell all of these. Or actually, it'd be quicker to do that. Because I mean, I farmed a lot there. Like, I got like most of my level. No! There we go, get ourselves lined up, get some of the bad stuff. Come on. And that's it, the rest of the time it's just collecting. What the fuck? Oh. Okay. See, that stuff drives me crazy. You didn't want to pick it up, and then halfway through you're picking it up. Like, just why are you like this? That could have killed me for no reason other than Tank decided he wanted to tank all of a sudden. Crazy. Why did he drop the bell? A little bit of overkill, I would say. I mean, overkill. Holy man. Ouch, ouch. Okay, almost done. And there. Done. Out. Good. Okay, we got 7. Oh my goodness, we're doing really good. Like, oh, I was already on the chocobo. Oh, up, 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 up. Wait. There's a quest here? Like, what do I need to unlock that quest? Oh shit, hold on. Oh, there you go. You are good to go, you tanker. Oh, that was dumb. Oh. There we go. Now we go. Trying to like get up there and damage, but I'm definitely not doing it. That's okay. It's fine. Go. Yeah, we're not doing too bad. So yeah, you can get in the teens of numbers relatively quickly, but like remember that if you want it all, you should have did this last week. If you're looking at me going, Peebs, that's terrible advice. I'm aware. I'm fully aware. Go, still going through it. Oh, perfect spot right there. Alright. Trying to do the most, and I'm doing probably close. LB would have pushed it. Oh, that stinks. There. Okay, here we go. We did good. We did good. We're doing alright. I forgot that I had to do this. Renovation complete. That's my last reno, I believe. Yeah. Where's my local mimic? What are you doing up there? More tools. What are you missing? Oh. I'll be back. I knew I was missing something. Island coal and island mithril. We know where that is. It's alright. While we're queuing up. Ooh, I hit 20 next turn. So that means if I'm really, really, really smart, I could maybe get a new one tomorrow too. Morning. Tomorrow evening, obviously, but like my plan for tomorrow evening is a bottle of wine, Jimmy Jams, which is pajamas, and this right here, farming. I may skip out on the high five. So it has no one to high five with. And I'll start going my way down the list. Okay, here we go. Fucked up the rotation, but that's okay. I've done dumber in the past, we'll be fine. There. Him out. To the right. There. Pronunciation's getting better. I have a bad tendency of watching the buttons. I know I probably shouldn't, but... Take my rightful spot. Okay, we're still a little high. Usually you kind of want to be in the 38% range, 36, 38. And of course the LB is in space. If you can do that, you'll probably get it. It's likely not going there, and that's okay. Nothing, it's not lost. It's not losing. What do you mean? That wasn't supposed to hurt me, and it did, and I feel bad. There you go, limit break, love that. Up in the front dude, he doesn't take shit. Alright, back here. A lot of, what do they call it, free damage buttons? There we go. I'll get you the take. Looking like Meteor. There. Love that. Okay, where are we sitting? We're right at 10:30. My time. We're at 20, so we're 30 away. We're doing okay. I think we're not to stop it there for the night. It's nothing personal. But it's still gonna work in the morning. If I could call in sick, I would. So, thank you so much for being here. Next week, Final Fantasy 14 on Monday, because we're gonna be like rushing those Moogle tomes. Whatever we get, we get. Wednesday, Final Fantasy 16, and then Thursday, 6.5. The MSQ, which I'm excited. Not gonna lie, I'm boasting. So, in the meantime, thank you so much for being here, Jonathan, Diogo. Have a legendary night, and I can't wait to see you guys again on the next one. Bye.